Hi there, Prairie Plant Girl here. Inside my greenhouse, it feels like spring, but out here, it's all winter. Right here is where I wanted to be planting my cauliflower, broccoli, and cabbage. Well, now, the calendar said it's been spring for 2 weeks, but I don't think Mother Nature's gotten the hint out here in Canada. So I'm going to take matters into my own hands and create my own weather. Come on, let's see if we can get this snow-covered, frozen planting bed into one that I can put some brassicas and cold hardy crops in. So if you're new to my channel, welcome to Saskatchewan, Canada in April. Yeah, it's still winter here, and some years beautiful and I have things planted already, and some years it looks like this. So we're still getting, we have another night forecast for -20. They say it's going to get up into the teens, and that's Celsius here in Canada. They say that in just a few days our daytime highs will be in the teens. I'm not sure I believe it, because all this cold snow tends to bring those forecasts down a little. But we should be getting into those seasonal, more like just -5 kind of nights now, and that's going to be perfect if I can get this bed thawed out and then I can plant my brassicas in it. So this is my hoop frame. I had to actually work to get it on one warm day that we had to get it. Hey Buzz. Hey Buzz. I need to put this down. Gotta move. Gotta move. I had to work to get it thawed out from the ground. So, but I think I've managed to get it out here. And I can see that a little bit of snow has melted, that I actually have a couple T-bars here in the way. Hopefully I can get them lifted up, otherwise I'll have to work around them. But in the spring and summer, I use this frame to cover my brassicas to keep the cabbage reapers and other pests out. And it has these hoops in it. But this time of year, I'm going to use it to put some plastic over. And that'll just radiate some heat down into this bed, should warm it up so I can get planting hopefully in a week or two. Just will depend on how much sun we have and what the weather's doing. So I'm going to try and pop this plastic on. Hopefully I grabbed a piece that's big enough, and we'll get to this. First, let's see if I can get those T-bars out of here. Does that smell good? Does that smell good? Let's see. These over, maybe? Oh no. Oh good. Them both out of here. Okay, so now that those are moved, I should be able to start this. Okay, so I got the poly on. This is just regular construction poly that you might use for like vapor barrier in your house. I don't have greenhouse plastic, and I don't worry about that for what I'm doing here. This is just a temporary thing that I'm going to use to get the ground warmed up, and sometimes I'll use it on more tender crops if I want to get things warmed up and get things planted a little bit early. If you're going to be using it and growing plants underneath, then you need to vent the sides or the ends somehow during the day, anytime it's going to get anywhere near that freezing mark or warmer, because it gets really, really hot inside of these little tents like this. So I'm right now just using it to try and warm things up. I've tucked the edges all around underneath, and I'm going to try and use, these are just some of the same kind of tubing that I've used, just irrigation tubing. And I've just cut some to make little clips or clamps to cover these over. And I'm going to try, they can be kind of hard to work with in the cold sometimes. I have some that are made out of a thinner little bit thinner tubings. I'll try and get those clamped on here because we're forecast for 40-kilometer-an-hour winds this afternoon. So I don't want to have this popping up on me. Just going to pop these clamps on and we'll be done. Okay, so I got this all clamped up. Hopefully it holds over the, if the wind really does get up. Another thing you could do if you don't have clamps and things like this is you can get wire, bend some heavier gauge wire that you can still bend and make some hoops out of it that way. Or I've seen people use like, cut hula hoops in half and use that. And I actually have more of these hoops that are in this frame, and I just have, I think you can see it, they're just some like pipe fittings and on the sides of some of my beds that I use sometimes. And I'll just pop these pipes down in there, down to the ground, just for a temporary thing. If you want something a little more permanent, you can put a piece of rebar or a stake or something to put the pipe on, just to hold it a bit more solid. And you can use even just like bungee cords or twine or something to wrap through these kind of loops and over the plastic, and that'll help to hold it down securely too. So just some options for you if you're looking to do something similar but don't have a frame all made up like I do. This snow, I suspect, should be gone by the end of today or tomorrow, as long as the sun keeps shining like it's supposed to. Even when we get the -20 in the cold weather tonight, it'll cool down a bit in there overnight, but it'll warm right back up with the sun during the day. If you are going to do something like this and grow plants in it, like I said, make sure you vent the ends so you don't cook your plants. But about mid-afternoon, kind of at the height of the warmth, you need to close it back in to try and hold some of that heat inside overnight as much as you can, and even throw a blanket over top if it's going to get real cold. Once I get this warmed up enough that the ground is thawed and about just around the 5-10 degree mark there Celsius, once I'm able to plant my brassicas in it, then I will probably just put a heavy frost cloth on it, and that should be enough. My brassicas are in my cold frame right now. I'll make sure they're hardened off well to the outdoors before I put them in here, but they have been used to a little bit more extreme temperatures than they would if they were growing in the house. But I'm ready to get these seedlings going and get some plants started outside. So if you're like me and you're just tired of waiting for winter to come to an end and you're ready to just make spring happen, try making yourself a little hoop and warming up the soil. It's a good way to get some of those early crops going. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.